Welcome back to Lariat TV News. This week we're updating you on Baylor's record-breaking retention rate. I'm Lauren Holcomb.
And I'm Maya Dulock. We have great stories for you this week, but first we show you this week's big event at the Herd, Career Day.
There's a job for everyone at Career Day, and I got the chance to talk with one recruiter who proves that true. Thousands of students have come out to the Herd Center today for career fair looking for jobs, but little do they know they might find one that they didn't expect. We talked with the Secret Service today about why Baylor students should look into their field. Dominique Ellis graduated college with no idea his future would lead him to Washington, D.C.
I was a marketing major. I had no law enforcement or military background.
Ellis played football for a small college and was hoping to make that his future.
An NFL team reached out to me and told me to stay ready, so I did what every logical person does. I quit my job on the spot. I moved back down to Florida where my trainer was, and I never got that call, so I had to figure out what to do next.
An old teammate reached out to him about joining the service. Years later, he's come full circle as a recruiter.
It's good to talk to all those people and just let them know, like, hey, like, you know, yes, your major is this or your minor is this, so you don't have to, you don't have to have that one-track mind.
His recruitment journey led him to Baylor's Career Day, where he could inspire students that are just like him to try something new.
This is my favorite part of all these career fairs, is just meeting all the different people and just hearing about their stories and trying to help them into a career path and guide them in that way.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Lauren Holcomb.
Baylor's graduating class of 2027 set a new retention record from the previous school year. The 2023 freshman class turned in a 90.9% fall-to-fall retention rate. The record is just one student short of 91%, and Baylor is hopeful it will raise to 92% next year. Baylor's proud of the increase and says the faculty and students and alumni should be too.
We want to be better academically. We want to continue to be more distinctive as a Christian institution. We want to provide more research opportunities for students. And of course, we want to have great athletics that bring everybody together and are lots of fun to be a part of. And I think if we can do all of those things, we will become even more attractive to students coming to Baylor, both the undergraduate and the graduate level.
Sip City is a new soda shop that opened last Thursday in Woodway, and one half of famous YouTuber twins made it happen. Caitlin Sides tells us the story.
Brooklyn and Bailey have been a YouTube sensation since 2010 with about 10 million subscribers and are Baylor alumni. But now one is branching out to the restaurant business and opened their second soda shop here in Waco.
It was so fun to see all of the students and be like, oh my gosh, I'm now like on the flip side. I'm now like a company in Waco that students are visiting. You know, I'm not a student anymore.
Sip City is located in Woodway and opened their doors this past Thursday. The shop offers many different combinations of sodas, and this is their second location, with the first one being located in the Dallas area.
Kind of the lead time to start a business is, a year or two out. And so we opened Dallas and we signed on Waco like 2 weeks later.
Although the pair are from Utah and grew up in Texas, Brooklyn has had the idea for the soda shop since she was 18.
It was just like all the pieces of the puzzle fit together. I knew the community, we had this great location opportunity, and so we just, it was just the perfect fit.
Brooklyn knew she could turn her dreams of a soda shop into a reality, especially with the help of her husband, who has worked in the restaurant industry before.
As we got to know each other, sort of this conversation started around like, hey, I think this would be super cool, and like you have this expertise I don't have, and like I know how to open businesses, you know how to do restaurants, like let's see if we can figure something out.
This is just the start of the business here in Waco, and the team doesn't expect the lines to stop anytime soon.
We have gotten thousands of orders in the past few days, and honestly it's like been above what we all could have thought was going to be just the support from the community.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Caitlin Sides.
Notable guest speakers like Scott Drew and Freddie Kearney came to the Herd and spoke at Call to Go earlier this week. The event was about teaching students how to be missionaries in college. They opened the event with the line, "If your goal is a safe and comfortable life, this event is not for you." It was hosted by Heartfire Missions, and we spoke with the president, who said he hopes this event will inspire college students to get out in the world.
Matthew 28:19 said to his disciples, to go. And so we're here to spread the word, to make sure people understand that they don't need to wait around for a special calling. They've already been called to go make disciples of nations.
For more information about Heartfire Missions, visit their Instagram page at heartfire.missions.
A local church brought their musical talents to all streaming platforms, and LTVN's Gracie Savage has the beat.
I'm here outside of Highland Baptist Church, where the worship team recorded and released a new original song. Let's learn about it.
Our mantra is we write songs from the church for the church, and if it goes past the walls of Highland, praise God for that.
Highland Music has been working on their original song, Yahweh, since 2018, and they are excited to finally release it for the public to hear. Yahweh is a labor of love, and the worship team said that they spent countless hours rewriting and re-recording this piece.
It took, it was 6 months or so to finally finish, and so it was just coming back to the piano and guitar over and over again, and we had some other verses that we were toying with that just didn't make it in.
The song's roots come from Exodus chapter 3, and they worked diligently to put this biblical chapter into musical form. They wanted it to be perfect for their church body, and they said the success in the community is just an added bonus.
We're thinking about the church. We're thinking about our church. And, we're looking for songs that are going to bless our people, that could possibly line up with what we've been learning in the Word.
Highland Music is planning on releasing more songs throughout the year.
We're hoping to do about 4 of these mini albums a year, I think is what we feel like we have capacity for.
You can listen to Yahweh on all streaming platforms. For Lariat TV News, I'm Gracie Savage.
Coming up, Pumpkin Fest is back.
An Hispanic Heritage Month celebration continues across campus.
Dust your boots off, Waco, and come to the one and only Heart of Texas Fair and Rodeo presented by HEB at the Extraco Event Center. The fair fun begins October 3rd through 13th, and this year's One Hot Rodeo presented by Ag Trust Farm Credit will have some of the bravest rodeo cowboys and cowgirls we've ever seen. Professional bull riding, calf roping, barrel racing, mutton busting buckaroos, and much more. Gear up for the rowdiest rodeo in town. Get your tickets at hotfair.com today. See y'all there.
Although it may not feel like it, fall season is here and the Pumpkin Festival has officially started. LTVN's Marissa Muniz has the details.
Though this Texas heat may not feel like it, fall has officially started and Western Bell Farm is bringing the true fall experience to Central Texas.
Our goal has been to share our love of agriculture with the community, and so we basically host seasonal festivals to invite the public out to the farm to show them what we're doing or growing here at the farm.
Taylor and her husband Brandon moved to Texas in 2021 to open Western Bell and wanted to express their passions of providing fun and new experiences for the community.
In our 3rd year this year, we finally have a U-Pick pumpkin patch. We've worked really hard to grow our own pumpkins, which is actually quite difficult here in Texas.
The Huffmans have strived to set themselves apart from other farms. This isn't your typical pumpkin patch. They've got so many activities to do here. From hay riding to pumpkin and apple cannon shooting, Western Bell Farm is bringing all the festivities and fun this season.
We have all kinds of things like a farm animal barn where you can feed and pet all of our animals. We have zip lines, a jump pillow, slides. We have a barrel train ride. So it's a lot of fun, and we have all kinds of different things for all ages. We're just really excited to be that place where the community and even the Baylor students can come out every season and celebrate that season on the farm with us.
The Western Bell Pumpkin Festival will be open until November 3rd and is open Friday through Sunday. For Lariat TV News, I'm Marissa Muniz.
The community leaders at Baylor work 24/7 to maintain the safe and supportive environment at Baylor. CLs go through detailed training at the beginning of each semester where they learn how to handle any issues in their communities. But their work is not a typical 9 to 5. At every hour of the night, there's a CL on call equipped with a flip phone to respond to any emergencies. CLs take turns being on call, which they say can be a challenge.
I would say that you just have to be a little flexible as a CL sometimes when you're on call and you're thinking that, oh, I'm just going to go on rounds and make sure the building's all right, and then you're a little sick sometime this year. I need to talk to someone in need of help. So
applications to become a CL are now open for the 2025 through 2026 academic year.
How we get images of planets might be a mystery to some. Planetary scientist and engineer Dr. Alan Stern came to Baylor to recount his mission of photographing Pluto. Claire Goodyear brings you the details.
Dr. Alan Stern visited Baylor Monday to recount New Horizon, NASA's mission to Pluto.
It's kind of like when you see a play Well, a movie, it took people years to put it together. And then you just see it for 3 hours. Similarly, we flashed by Pluto in a matter of a couple of days. But the whole flyby operation took 2 years.
The mission captured a never-seen-before vision of Pluto.
You know what this is? This is the best picture of Pluto ever made before New Horizons. Look at the difference between that and this. Now the thing is, as a scientist, I can tell you right here and now, you cannot do real science on an image like that.
And the presentation captured the attention of some Baylor students.
So it was quite new to me. I thought it was really quite incredible, and incredible that I missed hearing about it. I think it was the vastness of everything, how many people were involved, and also just learning all the small details that, that there was so much that we didn't know about Pluto.
As a child, Dr. Stern did chores to buy model rockets. Now he's part of the real deal.
So you have no idea how much fun it was to trick this baby out to write the check for a $180 million rocket. It's 200 plus feet tall, with every upgrade you can think of to make it go faster so we can get to Pluto more quickly.
Missions like New Horizons usually take about 8 years. Dr. Stern's team did it in 4 and didn't gatekeep their findings.
Well, I thought it was really lovely that they said that they shared the information with everybody, that America would get new science knowledge and just share it for free with the entire world. That's a really good model for, I think, just for general world relations.
Dr. Stern shared his advice for students studying science, engineering, and space exploration.
You have to really be willing to stick with it. You got to really want it, and you got to be willing to get knocked down and get back up and get knocked down a second time and get back up. And I can't tell you how many people in other space missions would tell you the same story. It's a very tough competition. Sometimes it's even a little underhanded. But you have to be ready to really fight for what you believe in, and you have to not quit when you have setbacks, even the third or the fourth or the fifth setback.
For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Goodyear.
With midterms around the corner, you may find yourself struggling to balance coursework and study time. The Center for Academic Success and Engagement is committed to supporting students in their academic and personal growth. You can find them in the basement of Sid Rich and can schedule appointments to get academic guidance. Whether you need help scheduling study times or just need mentoring, CASE is a study resource for all Baylor students.
When I get to listen to my colleagues present to students, I'm like, man, this would have been good to know as an undergraduate. And so that's what I'm telling y'all. If you don't have to figure out how to be strategic in your studies, don't. Let us help you with that part so you're using your brain energy for the actual content of your courses.
The Latinx Association for Science and Health continued Hispanic Heritage Month festivities with Eloteria Night. This brought members together to enjoy traditional drinks and elotes while playing Loteria, which is a game similar to bingo. This event not only offered a fun and cultural experience, but also helped the group welcome those interested in joining Baylor Lash.
Then realized how important my culture was, and I didn't realize that before because I wasn't exposed to being a minority in the sense, but now that I'm here, I'm happy and I'm glad to say that we're here to be your family and your community.
Howdy has been a long-standing tradition on campus, but for some students, this is their first rodeo. Irma Pena shows you the ropes.
I'm here in Fountain Mall celebrating Howdy, a tradition started by Pi Beta Phi to officially welcome students to Texas.
The event started early in the evening with armadillo shows and other fun activities. Students put on their boots and their hats to have fun with their friends.
I feel like Howdy welcomes me to campus because it gives me a chance to connect with everybody, and it's just a good thing that brings a lot of people in and shows the Baylor community and what it's all about.
This celebration happens at the beginning of every school year, giving students an outlet to de-stress from such a big change like starting college.
I think it gives us a chance to break away from the books and have us be a big family and also learn more about each other, meet new people, and just become that really good community that we have here at Baylor.
Freshmen feel welcomed by the many traditions Baylor's different groups hold.
Yeah, I love how it brings community with all the different grades all together.
Howdy reminds students that Baylor is now their home away from home. For Lariat TV News, I'm Irma Pena.
Howdy! In sports, Baylor football travels to Ames to battle a ranked foe.
And soccer looks to rebound after 2 straight draws.
I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. Forever we'll be singing like, oh, I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. I'll never get used to this. This is how I wanna live. This is how I wanna. Forever we'll be singing like, oh, I'll never get used to this.
Football will be attempting to get back into the win column this weekend as they head on the road to play number 16 Iowa State. The Bears are coming off a rough game versus BYU last week, with both the offense and defense starting slow in the first half of the game. The Cougars scored in each of their first 4 possessions. The Cyclones, on the other hand, are undefeated and are currently 11th in total defense nationally, 10th in interceptions, and 4th in scoring defense. Iowa State comes in with wins over North Dakota, Iowa, Arkansas State, and Houston. With the Bears having 2 losses in a row, questions are being raised on Dave Aranda's future as head coach.
Take responsibility for that. I have to coach that better. I'm going to change how I'm teaching those things and spend even more time in detail in those things. But I mean, that just can't happen. We cannot have those types of mistakes, you know. You can only pencil with people so far.
Kickoff is 6:30 on Fox. Against BYU, Baylor struggled mightily in the first quarter, falling into a 21-0 hole early. The Bears will be hoping for a fast start against Iowa State this weekend.
5 games into this season, Baylor football has had a hard time playing a solid 4 quarters, having rough first halves against Utah, Air Force, and BYU, while having trouble closing out games against Colorado and BYU.
I thought that there was a great fight throughout the game. I thought that, you know, despite whatever the score was, and early in the game, it wasn't very good for our side of things. I thought that throughout the whole game, we thought we were going to win the game, you know, and whether.
Not including the Tarleton game, Baylor has been outscored 45-13 and have been outgained 471-246 in the first quarters. But outside of the first quarters, Baylor has outscored their opponents 89-53.
You know, it's 2 weeks in a row where it's come down to the last drive, and we just haven't finished, you know. And I'm not putting anything on the offense. I mean, we put 31 points on the board as a defense in the first half. Like, that was on us. 28 points should win us a game. And so it goes both ways. I would have loved for them to score at the end there, but we need to do better as a defense as well.
Against BYU and Colorado, Baylor has been in a prime position to win the game, but it ended up coming short, losing in the final possession of the game both times.
I think, you know, we know how to win, and we've shown that we know how to win this season as well, you know, late games, but we just have to do it. And we have the right players, the right coaches. You know, I trust everyone 100% with everything we're doing, and we're put in the situations, and we have to capitalize on those situations.
Baylor faces a tough opponent on the road this weekend, playing number 16 Iowa State. For Lariat TV News, I'm Braden Murray.
Baylor soccer takes on Texas Tech in Lubbock this weekend. They are looking for a win after tying with then number 22 TCU Sunday. Aiden Pham has the story.
Baylor women's soccer tied against number 22 TCU 1-1 Sunday in front of a packed crowd at Betty Lou Mays Field. Sunday's result was the Bears' second draw of the week after tying against number 16 Colorado.
2 ties against nationally ranked opponents in the last 2 games is important for us to take away and recognize that shows growth. And we're in both of those games and have opportunities to win it, and that's all we can ask of our team right now. So not satisfied, but overall happy with the performance.
TCU went on the offensive early, which would last throughout the match. Baylor's first shot of the game did not come until the 38th minute. Baylor junior goalkeeper Azul Alvarez was kept busy the entire afternoon as the Horned Frogs had 28 shots total with 8 on goal. Alvarez, a transfer from TCU, recorded 7 saves.
Azul's great. Like, I know any 1v1, she's there. She'll put her body on the line every day. It's amazing to see how good she actually is, and just watch the ball, and you're like, oh, goal, and you're like, never mind, Azul's there, so it's not a goal. So it's just amazing.
The Bears got on the board early in the second period on a goal from junior Hannah Augustin in the 59th minute. TCU would respond with the equalizer in the 72nd minute when sophomore Bella Diorio scored off an assist from senior Cameron Lancaster.
Throughout the game, the team grew into the game, which I think is an important sign of our maturity and development. So there was a period of time in the second half where we had quite a bit of possession and we were really attacking and breaking them down. And then it led to a really good goal. So happy with the goal. Obviously wish we could have finished it off.
With the draw, Baylor is now 6-4-3 overall and 1-2-2 in conference play. Next, the Bears will travel to Lubbock for another conference game against Texas Tech Friday night. For Lariat TV News, I'm Aiden Pham.
This week, Baylor women's basketball completed their first official week of practice. The team held an open practice last Thursday for fans and media at the Foster Pavilion. It was the first look at the Bears as they gear up for a competitive season. Nikki Collin is looking to build upon their Sweet 16 finish last year with a group of experienced veterans coming back and the addition of talented newcomers. The team is excited to build chemistry before the season, which begins in 1 month.
You know, for the first time, we have more returners than newcomers. So, you know, just having a core group that, you know, understands, culturally understands, system understands, expectations, you know, all of those things. You know, we've just had a very uneventful off-season, and uneventful is good.
Baylor women's basketball begins the season on November 3rd with an exhibition match against Langston. In his third year at the helm, baseball coach Mitch Thompson is hopeful his team will take the next step and make the conference tournament. Mitch Thompson's first 2 seasons were rebuilding years. The Bears finished last in the conference in 2023 and narrowly missed the tournament last season. In the offseason, Coach Thompson made a key addition to his staff, welcoming pitching coach Sean Snedeker, who previously worked at Lamar, Oral Roberts, and Duke.
I've known Sned for a long time. He's an ultra successful guy that you know, is an excellent communicator. He's had all the success that you can stand and see at his previous stops, and so when we had an opportunity to talk with him, we were very excited about it. I'm excited about what I'm seeing right now from him and the guys. I think they're developing a great relationship.
For now, that wraps up sports. Remember to keep up to date with the Baylor Lariat for the best in-depth coverage of your favorite Baylor programs. Back to you, ladies.
Well, that about wraps up this week. Stay tuned for our fall break newscast Wednesday the 9th.
Thanks for watching, and keep up with our Baylor Lariat socials for more updates around campus in Waco. Have a great week, and as always, Sic 'em Bears.